Scientists are thirstier than a Tinder user on February 13th when it comes to discovering water on other planets. Don't believe me? Most recently, NASA suggested that there's likely frozen water in Jupiter's atmosphere, right above the Great Red Spot, and scientists and publications alike cannot stop gushing about it. This could mean liquid water below the red spot, and a lot more than we've got on Earth. It's an important discovery. Water is essential to life, but why exactly does it actually matter if other planets host water? Water is one of, if not the best solvents. It can literally dissolve more compounds than any other molecule on Earth, making it like the Swiss Army knife of solubility. Why is that important? Well, if you remember back to your high school chemistry class, you might remember learning that the ability to dissolve one substance using another substance is hugely important. That's because it causes chemical reactions, and chemical reactions literally run the world. In their simplest form, chemical reactions break down molecules and rearrange them to form something new. They allow plants to create energy, food, and oxygen. They're necessary to start fires, and they help you break down all the French fries you just had for lunch. And on an alien planet where you don't know what problems you're going to encounter, you'd want to find water, because it's way more handy to have a Swiss Army knife than it is to have a precision Phillips head screwdriver if you want to tackle a multitude of problems. You can just do more with water than you can with a lot of other molecules. This may not seem like a big deal, but the fact that water remains liquid from 0 degrees Celsius all the way up to 100 degrees Celsius is imperative to its solubility, which in turn is crucial to causing chemical reactions. You can't dissolve something in ice, so the fact that water isn't extremely sensitive to temperature changes is stellar. If water was only liquid between 20 degrees Celsius and 40 degrees Celsius, weather patterns would need to be extremely precise for molecules to get dissolved. This would be problematic as temperatures on habitable planets fluctuate relatively frequently and drastically. Besides its ability to stay a liquid longer than most other molecules, water also retains its temperature for a long time. You've experienced this when you went to the beach and it was still cold for the first half of the summer, but then still warm well into the fall. This is a huge deal on Earth because it helps regulate and maintain a temperature where life can survive. As the weather gets cold, the ocean releases the heat it retained from the summer to keep temperatures from dropping rapidly, and the reverse happens when it gets warm. Water is one of the few molecules where its frozen form is less dense than its liquid form, causing it to float inside itself. But why is that important on a planetary level? Well, when a thin layer of water freezes on top of a liquid body of water, it essentially creates a seal. And underneath that seal, life forms, if they exist, can be protected from any potentially harmful conditions above sea level. On Earth, this has created a habitable climate for many species of fish, dating all the way back to our fishy ancestors. Following that logical stepladder, theoretically, it could potentially create a habitable space for life in other places, like Europa or Titan, the moons that orbit Jupiter. According to NASA, water isn't only a convenience, it's a necessity, and humans aren't alone in this. Liquid water is a necessity for every form of life known, with the possible exception of some plants or fungi that may get on by water vapor. The human body is roughly 60% water, and the average person needs 2 to 3 liters every day to stay alive. Plants are roughly 90 to 95% water. They use it to literally build the structures that hold them up. All the chemical reactions necessary to life, plants making oxygen, your ability to break down foods, and even think, they all begin with water. Finding water on alien planets is basically like finding a big neon sign that reads, "Hey scientists, there may be life here. It's not definitive, but there's definitely potential." And even if there's no life on other planets and we're the only ones out there, finding water on another planet is a good indicator that we might be able to get humans to survive there. If we can harness the water to drink or to use for farming, then we'll probably have the capacity to get by okay. Water is a simple, abundant molecule, but it allows for a lot of complexity. Life is very complex, but seemingly not abundant in the universe. So the simple answer? Search for water and you may find something much more interesting hiding just below the surface.